Welcome to Peaceful Nightfall. Tonight's story is here to help you slow down, relax your mind, and gently let go of the day. Get comfortable, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to rest. Tonight's story is Stone Wall Curves. The old stone wall, weathered to a gentle gray, curves away from the town's edge like a worn armchair. The fields beyond stretch out in a soft whisper of green, the grasses and wildflowers swaying lazily in the breeze as it stirs up from the valley floor. A few wispy clouds drift across the sky, their shapes dissolving into nothingness before they can form any clear outline. In the near distance, the sound of a small brook burbles its quiet song, its melodic rhythm weaving together with the rustle of leaves and snapping of twigs underfoot. As the sun's warmth begins to wane, the scent of blooming lavender wafts from a nearby hedge, mingling with the earthy richness of the brook's water. A small wooden gate, adorned with rusty hinges and a weathered latch, creaks softly as it swings open on its own, revealing a narrow path that winds into the heart of the fields. The rustle of dry grass beneath foot grows louder as follow the path, the gentle undulations of the land, creating a soothing melody that harmonizes with the brook's song. The path unwinds like a gentle stream, its surface rough-hewn stones and weathered moss, a soft reminder of seasons past. A scattering of wild daisies, their petals a delicate dance of white and yellow, dot the landscape like tiny stars. The air is heavy with the sweet scent of ripening blackberries, their thorny canes stretching towards the fading light like nature's own harp strings. As the path dips and rises, the sound of the brook grows louder, its gentle voice weaving together with the rustle of leaves to create a lulling melody that seems to draw you deeper into the heart of the fields. The last rays of sunlight cast long shadows across the ground, stretching out like tentative fingers as they touch the stone wall's weathered face. As the darkness gathers, the stars begin to twinkle like diamonds scattered across the sky, their gentle sparkle reflecting the quiet beauty of the fields. The scent of damp earth rises from the newly turned soil as a small patch of wild garlic unfurls its delicate white flowers, releasing their sweet fragrance into the air. A lone rabbit, its fur fluffed against the evening chill, pads silently along the path, its bright eyes darting between the shadows as it sniffs out the ripest patches of clover. The stone wall's ancient stones seem to absorb the star's light, casting a soft moonlight glow across the surrounding landscape. As the darkness deepens, the silence is punctuated only by the distant hum of crickets, their gentle chirping weaving together with the brook's song to create a lulling rhythm that seems to draw you closer to the heart of the fields. A faint scent of ripe fruit wafts from a nearby orchard, its ancient trees looming like sentinels in the darkness, their gnarled branches tangled together like nature's own tapestry. The stone wall's weathered face seems to absorb the star's light, casting a soft moonlight glow across the newly turned soil where wild garlic blooms like tiny white stars. The darkness gathers, and the fields surrender to night's gentle embrace. The brook's song slows, its melody weaving together with the crickets' chirping to create a soft, pulsing rhythm that seems to synchronize with the beating of your heart. A lone bat, its leathery wings a blur as it darts between the trees, stirs up a small cloud of fireflies that dance like tiny lanterns in the darkness. The air is heavy with the scent of damp earth and new life, as if the very soil itself were awakening from a long slumber. A faint glimmer of moonlight creeps over the horizon, casting an ethereal glow across the fields where wild garlic blooms like tiny white stars, its delicate petals swaying gently in the night breeze. The stone wall's ancient stones seem to hum with a quiet energy, as if they too were stirring from their nocturnal slumber, ready to welcome the dawn and all its secrets. The moon's gentle beam casts a silver path across the newly turned soil, where wild garlic blooms like tiny white stars. The air is heavy with the scent of damp earth and new life, as if the very soil itself were awakening from a long slumber. A small procession of fireflies, their lanterns aglow, dance through the darkness, leaving trails of sparkling light in their wake. The brook's song slows to a gentle trickle, its melody weaving together with the crickets chirping to create a soft, pulsing rhythm that seems to synchronize with the beating of your heart. The moon's path creeps across the fields, casting a silver glow on the wild garlic's delicate petals, which sway gently in the night breeze like nature's own ballerinas. The air is heavy with the scent of damp earth and new life, as if the very soil itself were awakening from a long slumber. A small procession of fireflies, their lanterns aglow, dancing through the darkness, leaving trails of sparkling light in their wake. In the distance, the stone wall's ancient stones seem to stir, releasing a soft puff of mist that rises like a veil into the night air. The brook's trickle slows to a gentle whisper, its melody weaving together with the crickets chirping, to create a soft, pulsing rhythm that seems to synchronize with the beating of your heart. The misty veil rises higher into the night air, carrying with it the sweet scent of blooming wild flowers. A gentle breeze stirs the tall grasses beyond the stone wall, causing the occasional blade to sway in rhythmic motion, as if keeping time with the brook's soft whisper. The moon's path continues its slow crawl across the fields, casting a silver glow on the undulating landscape. In the distance, a small cluster of trees stands sentinel, their leafy branches stretching towards the sky, like nature's own cathedral. The misty veil rises higher into the night air, carrying with it the sweet scent of blooming wildflowers. The breeze stirs the tall grasses beyond the stone wall, causing an occasional blade to sway in rhythmic motion, as if keeping time with the brook's soft whisper. A small furry rabbit emerges from the grassy expanse, its large brown eyes taking in the serene scene before it. With deliberate slowness, it makes its way towards the wild garlic blooms, its tiny paws barely disturbing the earth. The rabbit's whiskers twitch as it sniffs the sweet aroma of the blooming wildflowers, its ears perked up to catch the distant chirping of crickets and the soft whisper of the brook. As it pauses to savor the scent, a small patch of moonlight stretches across the field, illuminating a scattering of dandelions, their delicate seeds drifting lazily on the breeze like tiny ballerinas. The rabbit's gaze follows the drifting seeds as they carry away on the misty veil, which has risen higher still into the night air, carrying with it the whispers of the forest and the secrets of the countryside edge, where town meets open fields. The rabbit's ears twitch in time with the brook's gentle song as it nibbles on a particularly succulent wild garlic bloom. The moon's path continues its slow crawl across the fields, casting a silver glow on the undulating landscape. Rot! A nearby thicket of blackthorn bushes stirs in the breeze, their dark branches unfolding like nature's own intricate sculpture. As the rabbit finishes its snack, it pauses to gaze up at the star-filled sky, where a shooting star streaks across the constellations, leaving behind a glowing trail that seems to mirror the misty veil rising higher into the night air. The scent of damp earth and decaying leaves wafts from the nearby hedgerow, mingling with the sweetness of blooming wildflowers, as the rabbit's whiskers twitch in response to the subtle changes in its surroundings. The moon's path continues to weave its gentle magic across the fields, casting a silver glow on the undulating landscape where tall grasses sway in rhythmic motion, their soft whispers mingling with the distant chirping of crickets and the brook's soft whisper. A small cluster of forget-me-nots blooms amidst the grassy expanse, their delicate petals shimmering like tiny jewels in the moonlight as a family of field mice scurries through the underbrush, their tiny paws barely disturbing the earth. The rabbit's gaze lingers on the forget-me-nots as the scent of blooming lavender wafts from a nearby copse, its purple spikes swaying gently in the night breeze like nature's own tiny pom-poms. A small patch of dew-kissed grass glistens in the moonlight, reflecting the subtle rhythm of the surrounding environment as the field mice scurry about their nocturnal business. Their tiny footsteps quiet on the soft earth. The rabbit's gaze lingers on the forget-me-nots as the scent of blooming heather wafts from a nearby moor, its wiry stems stretching towards the moon like nature's own delicate fingers. The brook's song grows softer still, its gentle melody mingling with the distant hum of a cricket's song, while the tall grasses sway in rhythmic motion, their soft whispers carrying the secrets of the countryside edge where town meets open fields. The brook's gentle voice continues to weave, its soothing melody as a small wooden bridge spans its tranquil flow, its weathered planks worn smooth by countless seasons and footsteps. A sprinkling of wild mint grows around the bridge's edges, its delicate stems swaying in harmony with the grasses on either bank. The scent of damp earth and decaying leaves wafts from the nearby hedgerow, mingling with the sweetness of blooming violets as a small patch of moss-covered stones lies scattered beneath the bridge, their soft lichen covering glistening in the moon's silvery light. A family of robins flits through the nearby willows, their morning song still echoing from earlier in the day as the rabbit's gaze drifts back to the forget-me-nots, their delicate petals shimmering like tiny jewels in the moonlight, while the field mice scurry about their nocturnal business, their tiny footsteps quiet on the soft earth. As the rabbit's gaze lingers on the forget-me-nots, a faint rustling sounds from behind the nearby copse, where a patch of foxgloves stands tall, their tubular bells swaying gently in the night breeze like nature's own tiny trumpets. The scent of damp soil and soil. Decaying leaves wafts from the hedgerow, mingling with the sweetness of blooming violets as a small cluster of mushrooms pushes its way through the underbrush, their cap-like tops glistening in the moonlight, like tiny mirrors reflecting the surrounding environment's quiet rhythm. As the rabbit's gaze lingers on the forget-me-nots, the scent of ripened fruit wafts from a nearby orchard where ancient trees stand sentinel, their gnarled branches tangled in a slow dance of decay and rebirth. A small clearing opens beneath the boughs, its grassy floor soft and inviting, as if beckoning all manner of creatures to linger a while amidst the rustling leaves and whispered secrets shared among the fruit trees' weathered trunks. The moon's silvery light casts a gentle glow on the ancient tree trunks, their rough bark worn smooth by the whispers of seasons past. A few wispy strands of spider silk glisten like fine silver threads, bridging the gap between leafy branches as they sway softly in the night breeze. Beneath the canopy, a small cluster of fallen apples lies scattered, their sweet fragrance mingling with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. A family of fireflies dances through the clearing, their tiny lanterns flickering like miniature stars as they weave a trail of light among the grassy blades. The gentle rustling of the apple leaves subsides, and an expectant silence settles over the clearing. Amidst this quiet, a small, furry shape emerges from beneath the ancient tree trunk's gnarled roots. A vixen, her reddish-brown coat glistening in the moonlight, stretches languidly, extending her sleek body towards the soft grass. As she does so, a faint melody begins to unfurl, a soft hum of crickets and chirping frogs weaving together in harmony with the night air's subtle vibrations. The scent of ripe blackberries wafts from a nearby thicket, where thorny canes are tangled in a slow dance of growth, their dark purple fruit glistening like tiny jewels hidden among the leaves. As the vixen's paws release the earth, she pads silently across the clearing, her bushy tail twitching with each step, as if conducting an unseen symphony of crickets and rustling grasses. The air thickens with the sweetness of blooming elderflowers, their delicate white petals unfolding like tiny stars in the moonlit silence. A narrow stream babbles to life at the clearing's edge, its gentle gurgling creating a soothing accompaniment to the night's melodic whispers. The vixen's ears perk, as if listening intently to the water's soft murmurs, her whiskers twitching with each subtle vibration in the air. The vixen's paws leave gentle impressions on the soft earth as she makes her way towards the stream's gentle flow. The elderflower's sweet, Fragrance mingles with the damp scent of the water, carrying it up to where the moonlight can't quite reach. Amidst this subtle tapestry, a small school of minnows darts through the shallows, their shimmering scales catching the moon's pale light like tiny jewels scattered across the stream. A few leaves, worn smooth by the current, float downstream, their gentle dance weaving in and out of the water's soft ripples. The vixen's nose twitches as she sniffs the air, her ears still cocked towards the stream's soothing melody. As the vixen's paws barely touch the stream's edge, a small family of otters emerges from beneath a nearby willow's drooping branches, their sleek bodies glistening with dew-kissed fur as they slip silently into the water. The vixen's ears flick towards their soft chirping, her nose twitching as she inhales the sweet scent of ripening fruit wafting from a hidden orchard beyond the stream's curve, where ancient apple trees stand sentinel beneath a canopy of misty morning glories. The vixen's gaze follows the otters as they glide effortlessly across the stream's surface, their tiny paws barely disturbing the water's calm face. A faint hum begins to emanate from a nearby meadow, where a lone bee navigates the evening's final blooms of lavender and chamomile, its delicate wings beating in time with the cricket's lullaby. The air thickens with the scent of ripening pears, their gentle weight bending the branches of ancient pear tree, standing sentinel at the meadow's edge. A stray thread of mist begins to curl around the tree's gnarled limbs, weaving a subtle tapestry of dawn's approach. The vixen's whiskers twitch as she senses the stream's current slowly shifting, carrying with it the soft whispers of the night's secrets into the morning light. As the misty tendrils curl around the ancient pear tree, a faint rustling stirs in the nearby grasses. A lone rabbit, its fur fluffed against the gentle chill of dawn, emerges from the soft earth, its long ears twitching to the cricket's steady serenade. The vixen's nose twitches as she watches the rabbit hop across the meadow, its paws barely disturbing the dew-kissed blades of grass. A small patch of clover, heavy with tiny white flowers, catches the rabbit's attention, and it begins to nibble at their delicate petals. The air fills with the sweet scent of blooming thyme, carried on the morning breeze as it whispers secrets to the sleeping meadow. As the rabbit's gentle munching harmonizes with the cricket's lullaby, a faint shimmer begins to emanate from the stream's surface, where the otters have settled into their morning glade. The vixen's ears perk towards the soft ripples, her nose twitching as she inhales the sweet aroma of damp earth and decaying leaves wafting from the nearby forest floor. A small brown leaf, torn loose by a gentle gust, drifts down the stream's edge, its delicate edges curling like a tiny wing as it rides the current towards the meadow's soft grasses. The rabbit's nibbling slows as it becomes entranced by the shimmering ripples on the stream's surface. The misty tendrils continue to curl around the ancient pear tree, infusing the air with a subtle sweetness that mingles with the scent of blooming thyme and damp earth. A faint hum builds in the nearby meadow, where a small group of butterflies have begun to stir from their nocturnal slumber, their delicate wings unfolding like tiny fans as they take to the air. The vixen's ears perk towards the soft fluttering, her whiskers twitching as she watches the butterflies dance across the meadow's soft grasses, their iridescent wings glimmering in the morning light. As the otters settle deeper into their morning glade, a small patch of sunlight begins to creep across the stream's surface, casting a warm glow over the water's calm face and illuminating the delicate edges of the brown leaf as it continues its gentle drift towards the meadow's edge. The butterfly's gentle fluttering stirs up a small whirlwind of dust beneath their wings, sending tiny wisps drifting across the meadow's grasses like delicate ballerinas performing an ethereal dance. The vixen's ears twitch with pleasure as she watches the whimsical display, her nose twitching with every subtle shift in the breeze that carries the sweet scent of blooming lavender from a nearby thicket. A small cluster of wild daisies, their petals like tiny yellow stars, bob gently in the breeze, releasing delicate wisps of fluff into the air as they sway to and fro beneath the warm sunlight. The stream's surface continues to shimmer with an otherworldly glow, its ripples weaving a hypnotic pattern across the water's calm face as it flows smoothly towards the meadow's edge, where a small cluster of tall grasses stands like sentinels, their feathery plumes quivering in the breeze like a chorus of tiny harpists. As the morning light creeps further across the stream's surface, it illuminates a small patch of velvety moss growing on a weathered stone at its edge. The mossy blanket spreads across the stone like a soft, emerald green shawl, and its delicate tendrils curl around the stone's crevices as if embracing its ancient contours. A few stray strands of spider silk glisten like fine silver threads as they weave together beneath the moss's gentle sway, casting intricate patterns on the stone's surface. The butterflies' fluttering grows more languid as they begin to settle on the nearby wildflowers, their iridescent wings folding into delicate fans as they rest amidst the meadow's soft grasses. The vixen's ears twitch with pleasure as she watches the butterflies' gentle reverie, her whiskers twitching in time with the quiet rhythm of the stream and the rustling of the tall grasses as they sway in the breeze. The sun continues its slow ascent, casting a warm, golden light across the meadow's lush carpet of grasses, where the occasional wildflower blooms like tiny jewels amidst the green. The butterfly's gentle slumber is punctuated by the occasional flicker of their iridescent wings as they dreamily stir, releasing wisps of diaphanous silk into the air like ethereal threads weaving together a tapestry of tranquility. A small patch of tall grasses nearby begins to rustle and sway, its feathery plumes whispering secrets to the vixen's attentive ears as she listens with quiet fascination. The sunlight continues its gentle ascent, casting a warm glow on the weathered stone where the mossy blanket spreads like a soft shawl. The delicate tendrils of the moss curl around the stone's crevices, embracing its ancient contours as if whispering secrets to the quiet stream below. A small cluster of wild lavender blooms nearby, releasing their sweet fragrance into the air as they sway gently in the breeze. The vixen's whiskers twitch with pleasure as she sniffs the fragrant air, her ears still attuned to the soft rustling of the grasses and the gentle lapping of the stream against its stones. A small patch of sunlight filters through a nearby copse of trees, casting dappled shadows across the meadow's lush carpet of grasses, where the occasional wildflower blooms like tiny jewels amidst the green. The butterflies' iridescent wings continue their quiet fluttering, releasing wisps of diaphanous silk into the air as they dreamily stir, weaving together a tapestry of tranquility that seems to envelop the vixen and all around her. As the butterfly's gentle slumber continues, the sun's warm light dances across the meadow's lush carpet, casting dappled shadows on the wildflower's soft petals and the tall grass's feathery plumes. A small, rusty gate creaks softly in Cal. The breeze, its weathered hinges groaning a gentle harmony with the rustling of the grasses and the quiet lapping of the stream against its stones. The vixen's ears perk up slightly at the soft sound, her whiskers twitching with curiosity as she watches the gate swing open, revealing a narrow pathway that winds its way through the copse of trees, their branches swaying gently in the breeze like nature's own harpstrings. The gate creaks softly shut behind the vixen as she pads silently along the winding path, her paws barely making a sound on the weathered stone beneath. The trees seem to close in around her, their branches tangling together above her head like nature's own canopy of tranquility. A faint scent of damp earth and decaying leaves wafts up from the forest floor, mingling with the sweet fragrance of the wild lavender as she rounds a bend in the path. Ahead, the trees part to reveal a clearing, its center occupied by a majestic ancient oak, its gnarled branches stretching towards the sky, like nature's own cathedral. The sunlight filters through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor, where a carpet of ferns and moss spreads out like a soft green blanket. The ancient oak's massive trunk rises from the forest floor, its bark gnarled and twisted with age, the intricate patterns etched into its surface like nature's own work of art. The vixen pads closer, her ears perked up slightly as she takes in the quiet tranquility of the clearing. The only sound the soft creaking of the oak's branches as they sway gently in the breeze. A small, crystal-clear pool of water reflects the dappled light filtering through the leaves above, its surface disturbed only by the occasional ripples caused by a hidden fish breaking the surface or a stray leaf floating down from above. As the vixen approaches the ancient oak's massive trunk, she notices the intricate patterns of moss and lichen clinging to its gnarled bark, their delicate tendrils curling around each other like tiny fingers. The air is heavy with a scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, and the soft rustling of ferns beneath her paws creates a soothing background. A faint glint of sunlight catches her eye as it dances across the crystal-clear pool's surface, casting tiny ripples that disturb the reflections of the surrounding trees. The ancient oak's branches seem to stretch out a leafy arm, embracing the vixen as she pads closer, her tail twitching slightly with curiosity as she sniffs at the base of the trunk. The sunlight filtering through the oak's leaves casts long shadows across the forest floor, stretching and twisting like dark, wispy fingers. The vixen's nose twitches as she sniffs out the subtle scent of hidden insects and buried roots, her ears perked up to catch the soft hum of a nearby stream, its gentle burble weaving in and out of the rustling of ferns and the distant call of a bird. As she explores the ancient oak's base, her paws disturb a scattering of leaves, their delicate edges curling up like tiny, golden fingers, and a small, shiny pebble rolls out from beneath her paw, coming to rest at the edge of the crystal-clear pool, its surface reflecting the intricate patterns of moss and lichen on the ancient oak's trunk. As she paws at the leafy detritus, a shower of golden light filters down through the canopy above, casting a warm glow over the clearing. The soft rustling of the leaves intensifies, like a gentle chorus of whispers, as the ancient oak's branches sway in harmony with the vixen's movements. A small, furry creature darts out from beneath the leafy blanket, its tiny paws barely making a sound as it scurries up the trunk to disappear into a knothole, leaving behind a trail of soft, downy fur and a single, shimmering scale that catches the vixen's eye. The crystal-clear pool's surface ripples again, this time in response to the tiny fish breaking the surface with its struggles, sending tiny ripples across the water as it darts beneath the lily pads, their delicate white flowers swaying softly in the breeze like a chorus of miniature ballerinas. As she gazes into the pool's crystal clarity, the vixen's thoughts wander to the hidden world beneath her paws, where roots twist and turn like ancient fingers, guiding her towards the secrets hidden within the forest floor's soft carpet of moss. The sunlight filtering through the oak's leaves casts dappled shadows across the clearing, like a gentle, shimmering tide rolling in on the shore. A small, winged insect flutters out from beneath the leafy canopy, its delicate wings beating in slow motion as it dances above the pool's surface, leaving behind a trail of tiny, shimmering scales that glint like diamonds in the fading light. As the insect's final flutter disappears into the canopy's verdant depths, the vixen's gaze lingers on the pool's glassy surface, where a small, iridescent dragonfly perches, its delicate wings folded like a lotus flower. The ancient oak's branches creak softly in response to the gentle breeze, their gnarled limbs tangling with the surrounding ferns, as if performing an intricate, slow-motion dance. Nearby, a patch of wildflowers sways gently, their petals unfolding like tiny, white umbrellas, releasing a sweet, heady scent that wafts towards the vixen's nostrils, mingling with the earthy aroma of damp soil and decaying leaves. The gentle rustle of the wildflowers subsides, leaving behind only the soft hum of a distant bee as it flits from bloom to bloom, collecting nectar in slow, deliberate movements. The ancient oak's branches continue their languid dance, their gnarled limbs weaving together like a tapestry of twisted silver threads. A small, furry shape emerges from the underbrush, its bushy tail twitching back and forth as it pads softly across the clearing, leaving behind a trail of tiny, scat-like droppings that blend seamlessly with the forest floor's carpet of moss. As the vixen watches, the dragonfly's iridescent wings fold and unfold like a tiny, shimmering fan. Her gaze drifts to the edge of the clearing, where a tangle of ferns and wild grasses has formed a natural boundary between the forest floor and the open fields beyond. The sunlight filters through the fronds, casting dappled shadows across the grassy slope like a soft, golden blanket. A small cluster of clover blooms catches her eye, their delicate white petals unfolding like tiny stars as they sway gently in the breeze, releasing a sweet, honeyed scent that mingles with the fragrance of the nearby wildflowers. The air is heavy with the scent of blooming heather and the distant hum of bees as they flit from bloom to bloom, collecting nectar in slow, deliberate movements. As the sun's warm rays continue their gentle descent towards the horizon, a faint rustling echoes through the far underbrush, growing louder with each passing moment. A small, furry form emerges from the thicket, its bushy tail twitching back and forth as it pads softly across the clearing, weaving between the wildflower's delicate petals and the ancient oak's gnarled branches. The vixen's gaze follows the creature's slow, deliberate path, her eyes tracing the intricate dance of light and shadow cast by the fronds of ferns and the soft golden blanket of sunlight on the open fields beyond. As the creature reaches a small, weathered stone nestled among the wildflowers, it pauses, its whiskers twitching in contemplation before settling into a contented pose, its fur fluffed out in gentle ripples like a freshly laundered blanket. The creature's stillness is mirrored by the ancient oak's branches, which seem to hold their breath in anticipation of some unseen signal. The sun's descent continues, casting long shadows across the clearing as the wildflower's delicate petals begin to droop and fold, like worn pages in a well-loved book. A faint scent of damp earth rises from the forest floor, mingling with the sweetness of blooming heather and thorn, the distant hint of ripe fruit from the nearby orchard. The air is heavy with the quiet expectation of twilight, as if the very trees themselves were holding their collective breath in anticipation of some secret ritual to be performed under the cover of darkness. The vixen's gaze lingers on the small stone, now a tiny island amidst a sea of softly rustling wildflowers. The ancient oak's branches seem to stir, ever so slightly, as if releasing a long-held breath into the evening air. The scent of damp earth deepens, and the distant hum of bees grows fainter, replaced by the soft chirping of crickets rising from the forest floor like a gentle symphony. As the sun dips lower in the sky, the shadows cast by the wildflowers grow longer, stretching out like tentative fingers towards the stone where the vixen's furry companion still sits, its whiskers twitching occasionally as it surveys its surroundings with an air of quiet contentment. The air is heavy with the scent of blooming heather and the distant hint of ripe fruit from the nearby orchard, mingling with the damp, earthy aroma to create a rich tapestry of fragrances that fill the vixen's senses with a deep sense of peace. The vixen's gaze drifts lazily towards the ancient oak's gnarled trunk, where a few scattered leaves cling to their branches like wispy feathers on a forgotten nest. The soft rustle of these leaves is amplified by the stillness of the evening air, creating a soothing melody that harmonizes with the chirping crickets and the distant hum of nocturnal creatures stirring in the forest's depths. As the sun dips lower, its golden light casts an intricate pattern of shadows across the clearing, weaving together the shapes of the wildflowers, the ancient oak's branches, and the small stone where the vixen's furry companion still sits, lost in contemplation of the evening's secrets. The air is filled with the sweet scent of blooming heather and the distant hint of ripe fruit from the nearby orchard, mingling with the damp, earthy aroma to create a rich tapestry of fragrances that envelops the vixen like a warm blanket, gently drawing her into a state of deep relaxation. As the last rays of sunlight fade from view, The ancient oak's branches seem to relax, their tension released like a sigh as they settle back into their natural curves. The vixen's gaze lingers on this familiar silhouette, her breathing slow, and even as she becomes one with the evening's tranquility, a small stream, its source hidden in the forest's depths, begins to babble softly to itself, its gentle melody weaving in and out of the crickets' chirping and the distant hum of nocturnal creatures, creating a lullaby that draws the vixen deeper into the stillness. The scent of damp earth grows stronger, mingling with the sweet aroma of blooming heather as the stars begin to twinkle like diamonds scattered across the sky. As the stars continue their slow dance across the sky, a light breeze stirs the leaves of the ancient oak, releasing the faintest whisper of autumn's approaching presence. The vixen's ears twitch ever so slightly, attuned to this subtle signal that the seasons are shifting, yet she remains steadfast in her tranquil reverie. Meanwhile, a small family of field mice scurries out from their underground home, their tiny paws barely disturbing the soft earth as they forage for remnants of last summer's harvest. Their tiny chitters and squeaks blend seamlessly with the evening symphony, creating an intricate tapestry of sounds that envelops the vixen in a warm embrace. As the stars continue their steady twinkle, the scent of damp earth grows stronger, mingling with the sweetness of blooming heather and the distant hint of ripe fruit from the orchard. A soft rustle stirs in the tall grasses beside the clearing, where a family of rabbits are settling in their evening routine, their gentle nibbling on the tender shoots creating a soothing melody that harmonizes with the crickets' chirping. The vixen's gaze shifts slightly, her ears perked up ever so gently as she senses the quiet presence of these nocturnal neighbors, their soft breathing and rustling fur blending seamlessly into the thick evening symphony. As the rabbits settle in, a faint shimmer begins to emanate from the nearby wildflowers, their delicate petals unfolding like tiny trumpets announcing the arrival of night's gentle hush. The scent of blooming lavender wafts across the clearing, mingling with the damp earth and ripe fruit aromas, weaving a tapestry of fragrances that cradles the vixen in its softness. Meanwhile, a small patch of moonflowers lifts their pale faces to the sky, their delicate white petals unfolding like tiny lanterns casting a gentle glow across the clearing's soft grasses. The stream's babbling grows quieter, its melody merging with the rustling grasses and distant hum of nocturnal creatures, as the night air thickens with an expectant stillness, as if holding its breath in anticipation of the vixen's next move. The moonflower's soft glow illuminates a narrow path that winds through the tall grasses, their pale petals casting an ethereal light on the surrounding wildflowers. A faint hum emanates from the direction of the nearby apiary, where a lone bee flits from flower to flower, collecting the nectar that will sweeten the honey harvested by the village's apiarists come morning. The vixen's ears twitch ever so slightly in response, her whiskers twitching as she senses the gentle buzzing and the promise of a new day's dawning. Meanwhile, the scent of ripe fruit wafts across the clearing, mingling with the sweet fragrance of blooming heather and the damp, earthy aroma that clings to the wild flowers, weaving a tapestry of scents that envelops the vixen in its quiet peacefulness. As the moonflowers' light begins to fade, the night air grows thicker, heavy with an expectant stillness that holds its breath in anticipation of the vixen's next move. Her paws poised ever so gently on the soft earth as she prepares to surrender to the gentle call of rest. The moonflower's pale petals fade into darkness, leaving only a faint echo of their gentle glow behind. The scent of ripe fruit and blooming heather mingles with the damp, earthy aroma, weaving a tapestry of fragrances that cradles the vixen in its softness. As she settles deeper into the grasses, her breathing slows to match the quiet rhythm of the surrounding environment, where the stream's gentle babbling blends seamlessly with the rustling grasses and distant hum of nocturnal creatures. The air thickens with an expectant stillness, as if holding its breath in anticipation of the vixen's next move. her ears twitching ever so slightly in response to the soft buzzing of a lone moth that flits from flower to flower, collecting the nectar that will sweeten the honey harvested by the village's apiarists come morning. The stream's gentle babbling grows louder as it winds its way through the tall grasses, its soft song weaving a soothing melody with the rustling of the reeds and the distant hum of nocturnal creatures. The scent of damp earth and decaying leaves rises from the stream's banks, mingling with the sweet fragrance of blooming heather and the ripe fruit that hangs like lanterns on the nearby bushes. As the vixen's breathing slows to match the quiet rhythm of the environment, her eyes grow heavy, their bright, inquisitive light dimming as she surrenders to the gentle call of rest, her paws relaxing into the soft earth as if released from a long-held breath. The stream's gentle song weaves a soothing melody with the rustling of the reeds and the distant hum of nocturnal creatures as it winds its way through the tall grasses, its soft voice whispering secrets to the vixen who lies still, her ears tuned to its gentle cadence. The air is heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves that rise from the stream's banks, mingling with the sweet fragrance of blooming heather and the ripe fruit that hangs like lanterns on the nearby bushes. As the night deepens, the trees along the stream's edge begin to stir, their branches stretching out like nature's own gentle fingers, as if trying to reclaim a piece of the forest for themselves. The vixen's breathing slows further, her body relaxing into the soft earth, her fur blending with the grasses and wildflowers that surround her, until she is one with the night, her spirit merging with the quiet rhythm of the environment. The tree's branches continue their gentle stirrings, their leaves whispering soft confidences to each other as they sway in the night breeze. The scent of damp earth and decaying leaves grows stronger, mingling with the sweet fragrance of blooming heather and ripe fruit that hangs like lanterns on the nearby bushes. The stream's gentle song remains a constant accompaniment, its soft voice whispering secrets to the vixen who lies still, her ears tuned to its gentle cadence. As the night wears on, the moon rises higher in air, the sky casting a silver glow over the landscape, and the stars begin their slow dance across the heavens, their twinkle like tiny lanterns, guiding the way for any creature that might be out under the night's dark shroud. The vixen's breathing grows slower still, her body relaxing further into the soft earth, until she is nothing more than a gentle indentation in the grasses and wildflowers that surround her, spirit merging with the quiet rhythm of the environment, as if it, one with it, lost in the infinite expanse of night's dark silence. The moon casts its silver glow over the landscape, illuminating a narrow path that winds its way through the tall grasses, disappearing into the darkness. The stream's gentle song remains a constant accompaniment, its soft voice whispering secrets to the vixen who lies still, her ears tuned to its gentle cadence. As the night wears on, the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves grows stronger, mingling with the sweet fragrance of blooming heather and ripe fruit that hangs like lanterns on the tall, nearby bushes. The tree's branches continue their gentle stirrings, their leaves whispering soft confidences to each other as they sway in the night breeze. In the distance, a cricket's mournful song rises up, adding its own melancholy cadence to the stream's gentle melody. The moon casts its silver glow over the landscape, illuminating a narrow path that winds its way through the tall grasses, disappearing into the darkness. The vixen's spirit, now fully merged with the quiet rhythm of the environment, begins to resonate with the cricket's mournful song, and the stream's gentle voice whispers secrets in harmony with their symphony. The scent of damp earth and decaying leaves grows stronger still, mingling with the sweet fragrance of blooming heather and ripe fruit that hangs like lanterns on the nearby bushes. As the night air is filled with an orchestra of sounds, the cricket's song, the stream's gentle voice, the rustling of leaves, and the distant hooting of owls, all blending together in a soothing melody that wraps itself around the vixen's stillness, cradling her tranquil embrace. The moon's silver light casts an eerie glow on the misty veil that rises from the stream's surface, weaving a thin curtain of gossamer threads between the reeds and rushes that line its banks. The vixen's spirit remains entranced by the cricket's melancholy song, her essence harmonizing with the whispers of the wind as it stirs the leaves of the nearby wild apple trees. A lone firefly lights up in the darkness, its luminescent glow flickering like a tiny lantern on the edge of the stream, adding its soft pulse to the nocturnal symphony that envelops the vixen's stillness. As the firefly's light dances across the ripples on the stream's surface, the scent of wild mint and chamomile wafts up from the nearby meadow, mingling with the damp earth aroma that clings to the vixen's fur as she remains entranced by the cricket's song. The distant hooting of owls grows softer now, their calls fading into a gentle hum like a lullaby sung by the night itself. The moon casts its silvery glow on the misty veil that rises from the stream's surface, weaving a fragile tapestry of gossamer threads between the reeds and rushes that line its banks. As the firefly's light continues to dance across the ripples on the stream's surface, a faint rustling echoes through the underbrush nearby, where tall stems of goldenrod sway gently in the breeze, their delicate flowers trembling like tiny bells. The scent of ripe blackberries wafts up from the tangled thicket beside the path, mingling with the earthy aroma that clings to the vixen's fur as she remains entranced by the cricket's song, her spirit harmonizing with the whispers of the wind as it stirs the leaves of the nearby wild apple trees. The moon casts its silvery glow on a patch of velvety moss that creeps up the ancient oak tree's trunk, its soft folds rustling softly in the night air like a gentle lover's caress. Now, as the story gently fades away, let the words rest, let the sounds remain. Allow the gentle, calming sounds to carry you, slowly and naturally, into deep, peaceful sleep.